Absolutely scrumptious. I did. I hope your weekend was full of joy and everything you desired and more. All right. We are going to get started with the scripture for today. Let's do some deep breathing. Try to stay. All right. All right. How to use 40 money scriptures is day 2. How to use 40 money spells is day 1. If you want to reference, I invite you to reference those videos to figure out how to use these books. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. Okay. I am super ecstatic. The Coven and I had no clue this was about to happen, have just started reading the Testament out of the Pseudepigrapha of Solomon. The book has angelology and demonology. So yes, I'm super ecstatic. Hello, Oswell Al I5C. Hello, sweetness. How are you, darling? Hello, Nina, NNA. Nina with 2 A's. G7 I5E. Welcome to the channel, sweetness. All right. So we're going to do welcome to day 11. Congratulations on completing 10 days. Woo, woo, woo. All right. I'm going to have to remember to carry my maracas with me. All right. Ooh, delicious. Ooh, it's starting right. Ooh, yes. Ooh. Day 11, Psalm 1:3. He is like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruits in its season, and its leaf does not wither. In all that he does, he prospers. English Standard Version, angelicized. He is like a tree planted beside flowing waters that bears its fruit in its season and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. Christian Standard Bible. And he shall be like a tree firmly planted and tended by the streams of water, ready to bring forth its fruit in its season. Its leaf also shall not fade or wither, and everything he does shall prosper and come to maturity. Amplified Bible, Classic Edition. On the way over here, before I dig into the testimony of Solomon and a few things it talks about. The man I was in the car with for the Uber was listening to classical music, which is normally rare when I get into an Uber. I've heard many things classical music is normally not one of them. So this told me a few things. He was dropping things, it was a black man with dreads. And I was like, okay, all right. So I asked him, I said, you like classical music? He's like, yeah. He said, I'm a big fan of that and jazz. And I could have been quiet, I guess. And I said, well, do they play any? I said, well, I grew up listening to classical music, Mozart, Beethoven, things of that nature, because my mom, she was a music teacher. So I was exposed to all that. And so I then asked him if they had, uh, if they played any, if they had any like black shows or anything like that on this station. Station's 88.7. He said, yeah, they talked about Duke Ellington the other day for a couple hours. I said, oh, nice. I said, you're the type, you fall asleep to music. He said, well, not exactly. I said, ocean waves, thunder and rain, and I named a few other things. I said, depending upon the megahertz of the music, you're into music therapy. He's like, yeah, I am. I said, you play instruments? He said, yes, I do. He says, I'm a producer and I went to school for musical engineering. Oh, you need business cards. Him, I do. I create business cards. Oh, okay. I said, I'm gonna need to go ahead and get your social. So I got his social media. Will_E. For REE. Uh, forward slash. For REE. I've already connected to him on Instagram. He says, you know Matt Big Beats. I said, yeah. Matt went ahead and he played for me when I had my first book interview with New York Times bestselling author J.L. King. I had him and I had his cousin Michael A. Scott and his group perform. So I had his band and his group perform. He says, well, I'm looking for a band right now. I said, well, I do sing. I am an alto. So I talked to him about I told him I'm finishing up Cosmic Orgasms and asked him about reviewing. He does secular music. So he would fit right on in. He said the last performance he did was at Fine Art Butterfair. So I cannot wait to dig in. His genre mainly is R&B, is what he said, which is fine. Although I like a variety of music. All right. So that's how that worked. Spirit is working before I even finish what I'm working on. So, in regards to Solomon in this testament, baby, even though we are on chapter 1 and we have only read to verse 11, it is at his ring, and he is doing some commanding already of some demons. And the first one to trap the demon was the child and bring it back to King Solomon. I look forward to seeing what happens going forward. Now, I'm not sure what to expect in this testament, but I do know from studying Kabbalah that Kabbalah has 72 angels and demons. to practice with, besides angel cosmology or angelology, to practice with the demons is called Goetia Ars. I learned that from someone charging a lot of money on Etsy. I said, what are they practicing? And that's when I started looking into a few things. I did learn from messing with, well, playing with the 72 angels and the demons, that they could be lined up on Jacob's ladder. Y'all remember Jacob's ladder in the Bible? All right. So Solomon seems to be really big on astrology, which I love, touching the stars and planets. So this is going to be very, very interesting as we read and get to know a few things. Now, in class, I learned today that I normally don't, as far as tarot cards, I don't have a regular deck. I've always had an Orisha or a voodoo deck. And I did not know that the Raider, I believe it's called, deck is now called the Waiter-Smith deck. A person of color helped create that deck. Now, I don't know what her ethnicity is, and I asked the internet, they didn't know what it is, but I can tell by her nose and her skin color she's a person of color. So that's nice to know that we played a major part in history in regards to the esoteric side for tarot cards. I find that absolutely fascinating. Now, I've got 3 by Hex and Hammer. This one is written by King James, and I purchased it off Etsy years ago. I was the 234th person to purchase this book. It is a limited edition. Because I wanted to know, this man who had written or gotten the book of the Bible together, what else are you into? All right. Now, the only thing that may have this weekend had me thinking a little some type of way. I'm just going to say some type of way. If you are reading this book right here, I just finished reading The Sabbath of the Sorcerers. If I had to guess what went on at Epstein Island, I bet it is listed in the Sabbath of the Sorcerers. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I was all right up until the end of the chapter. I'm now on a new chapter. Enchantments and spells. All righty then. Whew. All right. Now, I said I was going to, in the last video, deliver you all some goddesses to work with, based off of day 10, when we discussed the goddess of wisdom and the goddess of money. Oh, goody. We're going to teach you how to clean items on your altar as well, because you are now on your third week. Beautiful. Now, I did... Yesterday, I was working on trying to wrap up the book for Cosmic Orgasms. I still have to put my numbers in for the table of contents. So far, the book is 250 pages. So I had gotten together goddesses for Canaanites, Anunnakis, Miso, Babylonian, I believe is what they're called. But I forgot to press the print key because the library only saves it for 2 hours, and I was there about 4 hours, and I didn't want to have it lost in the machine. But that's okay. I saved. My work is saved, so I'll just print that today. Today we're going to go through Egyptian, Yoruba, and Afro-diasporic, Haitian voodoo, Lawa, Greek and Roman goddesses, Hindu goddesses, Norse goddesses, Celtic goddesses. We're just going to touch on them briefly. Then we'll discuss, we discussed invocation the other day. We're going to give examples of invocation for different deities after we teach how to clean items on your altar. Then we'll dive into spell number 11. Hello, fans with double S _ Jero, JERO _ Benji. Welcome to the channel, my dear. All right. Egyptian goddesses: Isis, magic, motherhood; Mat, truth, balance, justice; Nephthys, protection, transition, mystery. I've already printed these out on my Substack for day 10 if you do not know the spelling or how to spell these names. Sekhmet, war, purification, healing; Hathor, joy, beauty, love; Bastet, home, protection, vitality; Nut, sky, stars, cycle; Seshat, knowledge, writing, architecture; Mud, motherwood, leadership, authority; Tarawet, childbirth, guardianship, safety; Yoruba and Afro-diasporic Orishas: Yemiya, motherhood, oceans, lineage; Oshun, love, rivers, prosperity; Alakun, depth, wealth, mystery; Oya, change, storms, transformation; Oba, loyalty, sacrifice, structure; Yiwa, purity, focus, insight; Nana, Baraku, ancestry, memory, wisdom; O'Neill, earth, integrity; Aja, herbalism, medicine, nature; Oten, defense, resources, protection; Haitian voodoo, Lawa; Israeli Frida, Izila Frida, Azili Dantor, Maman Brigitte; Lassarin, intuition, ocean's wealth; Grand Aluba, preservation, minerals, patience; Ayazan, which is the empress; commerce, initiation, order; Grand Bawa, forest, herbs, alchemy; Marinette Bawa Shek, rebellion, fire, liberation; Madan Kalfu, crossroads, strategy, shadows; Clermil, rivers, emotions, and children. Greek and Roman goddesses: Hero, Juno, authority, marriage, governance; Athena, Minerva, wisdom, strategy, innovation; Demeter, Ceres, harvest, nourishment, abundance; Artemis, Diana, dirty Diana, independence, wilderness, protection; Aphrodite, Venus, attraction, beauty, fertility; Hestia, Vesta, hearth, stability, center; Persephone, Proserpina, transition, cycles, duality; Hecate, magic, crossroads, intuition. Nike, Victoria, victory, achievement, success. In case you wonder where Nike got the idea from. Nemesis, accountability, balance, retribution. NVIDIA. Nemesis and NVIDIA mean the same thing. Durga. I know somebody named Durga. Protection, courage, justice. Lakshmi, wealth, prosperity, fortune. Shawaswati, knowledge, arts, learning. Kali, time, destruction, liberation. Pravati, devotion, discipline, family. Tripura, Sundari, beauty, leadership, sacred geometry. Bhuvaneshwari, space, creation, expansion. Chisanamasta, sacrifice, energy, transformation. Radha, love, devotion, bliss. Ganja, purification, flow, renewal. Norse goddesses. Freya, love, magic. Frigg, with a double G. Foresight, family, destiny. Heal, death, transformation, acceptance. Idun, youth, vitality, preservation. Scotty, independence, winter, justice. Celtic goddesses. Bridget, healing, creativity, inspiration. The Morrigan, fate, strategy. Danu, origins, fertility, ancestry. Rhiannon, endurance and guidance. Shiri, win, wisdom, transformation, rebirth. All the core feminine archetypes across all these traditions, they have mother, nurture, protection, lineage, queen, authority, leadership, warrior, defense, courage, action, healer, restoration, medicine, wellness, wise woman, knowledge, insight, wisdom, lover, attraction, beauty, connection, creator, innovation, artistry, expression, guardian, boundaries, safety, preservation, alchemist, transformation, renewal, change, mystic, intuition, magic, unseen realms. Around here, that is called DAATH, DAATH. Judge, truth, justice, accountability, earth mother, fertility, abundance, grounding, the keeper, rebirth and keeper, endings, transitions, renewals, seer, prophecy, foresight, vision, cosmic mother, creation, universal order, and destiny. Seer. Good idea. I need to bring the tools for you all to realize how they word things in the Bible versus prophets and prophetess, seers and divination tools versus how they word things that are not in the Bible that mean the same thing. Write it down while I remember. That way, it's plain and clear. All right. Let's talk about cleaning items on your altar. Okay, the two-way wipe. So, using direction to control spiritual energy is a classic occult technique. Wiping downward strips away old energy. Wiping upward draws in new power and blessing. Let's take your candles, for instance, depending upon what you buy for your altar. Pour your cleaning solution. Do not pour oils directly on paper towels, as consecrated oils can eat away at the finish of wooden altars, plastic, or painted surfaces. Put a splash of Florida water or a few drops of your chosen essential oil, like frankincense or myrrh or whatever your chosen oil is, into a small bowl of warm water. Dip your paper towel into the mixture and wring it out completely so it is just damp, not soaking wet. The downward wipe, removing attachments. Always start with this step. This clears out old dust, stale thoughts, and any previous spiritual attachments. For altar items such as statues, keys, crystals, take an object in your hand, hold it at the top, take your damp paper towel and wipe firmly downward toward the base, moving away from you. Toss that piece of dirt energy out into the room. Repeat this motion all the way around the item. So you're going to throw it away outside the house Afterwards, or you can bury it in the dirt in the backyard if you want to, or you can take it to the railroad tracks and bury it there, however you want to do it, or bury it in the cemetery. For the altar surface, start at the back of the altar table and wipe forward and down toward the floor, effectively pushing the old energy off the edge of the table. The intention: as you wipe downward, speak your boundary out loud. Say, I wipe away all dust, all lingering attachments, and all energies that do not serve my highest good. Clear this space. The upward wipe, infusing your power. Discard your old paper towel, take a fresh clean paper towel and dampen it slightly with your fresh Florida water mixture. Now you will program the items with your own energy. For altar items, hold the item by its base, take your clean paper towel and wipe upward toward the top or sky. This acts like an antenna, drawing your intentions up into the spiritual realm. For the altar surface, start at the front edge of the table closest to you and wipe inward and upward toward the back center of the altar, pulling blessing into the heart of the space. The intention: as you wipe upward, focus your mind on your goal. I wipe upward to bring forth wisdom, strategy, and power. I wipe upward to bring forth life, warmth, vitality, and protection. 3 crucial beginner rules. Clean your body first, as always. We talk about when we do these spells, you take your spiritual bath, boo. Never clean your altar when you are sweaty, angry, or exhausted from a hard day. Take a quick shower or wash your hands with Florida water first, or sage, so you don't accidentally pass your own daily stress into the clean items. Never double dip. Once a paper towel has been used for a downward cleansing wipe, it is spiritually dirty. Throw it in the trash immediately. Never use it for an upward infusing wipe. Check your materials. Alcohol-based sprays like Florida water can strip the finish off cheap plastic. Delicate gems like selenite or turquoise or varnished wood, if you are worried about ruining a specific item, use a completely dry microfiber cloth using the exact same downward, upward directional movements. Clean your stones, your jewels. Don't use Florida water for those. It's alcohol-based. From experience, just use essential oils. Okay? All right. We're going to do a couple of examples of invocations. All right. The beginner's protocol for goddess invocation. Set the altar before speaking a word. Prepare the physical space to act as a cosmic antenna. You are already prepping. You are already doing altar work before you get to the altar. You bathing, you planning for the altar, you cooking favorite foods for the altar. I did a spirit profile yesterday in case you need to know what type of items that go on the altar. I did that yesterday. It was part 3 video of day 10. The minute you take your bath and you are cooking and everything, you are doing right then and there. Okay, I'm not sure why it was reconnecting. But baby, we back and we're glad to be reunited, and it feels so good. All right. Clear the space, ensure the area is, we left off at setting the altar. We're talking about doing our invocation. We just talked about how to clean altar items. All right. And the spirit profile I had reminded you is what I discussed on part 3 of day 10. All right, so set the altar. Before speaking a word, prepare the physical space to act as a cosmic antenna. Clear the space, ensure the area is physically clean and swept. We're not talking about vacuuming. We're not spraying with the money oil and vacuuming. We're talking about you having that cinnamon broom right in front of your altar to do some physical sweeping, because we swept all 12 of the planetary houses, to do some physical sweeping in front of the altar, okay, with the cinnamon broom. Light a simple candle to represent illumination and fresh incense or sage to clear any lingering, drifting thoughts. Ooh, this is candle magic. There's no such thing as a simple candle. They all have purpose. You might not be familiar with candle magic. Let me write down candle magic. I do have a book called 7 African Powers for Beginning Practitioners. It has candle magic and crystal magic and all that in there. It's on Amazon. Candle magic. All right. Because we've already talked about crystal magic, chakras, and a few other things. All your altars are going to have the basics. Okay, and I discussed setting up your altar on day 1. They all got water, they all got food, they all have fresh flowers, they all have incense and sage. They all have crystals. And if you want to, as you go along, you'll figure out what you want to place on your altar, like statues and things of that nature. Okay, whether it be an ancestor altar of people who have passed in your family, or no living people, or whether it be a deity altar. Okay, it will tell you, spirit will tell you while you're doing things what it wants on that altar. Okay, the power of your number. Numbers are the geometric architecture of the cosmos. For this ritual, the beginner will use their favorite. You're going to use the deity's favorite power number to determine the exact repetition of the call. You'll repeat their delicious name exactly that many times to lock in the frequency. Example, the first altar I started with. Second, my first altar was an ancestor altar. Second altar was a Yimiya altar. So like example, her number is 7. Yimiya, great mother of the oceans. Yimiya, womb of creation. Yimiya, sustainer of wealth. Yimiya, flowing stream of abundance. Yimiya, she who cleanses the lineage. Yimiya, fierce protector of the sovereign soul. Yimiya, cosmic source of liquid power. Divine Mother, I invite your presence to pull up a seat at this altar today. Wash away the reactive, drifting thoughts of the matrix and anchor my mind in supreme, magical consciousness. Flood my life with your fluid intuition and show me how to properly nurture the seeds of my empire. As it is said, so it is executed, it is done. Why this way? This way reminds you that you aren't begging a distant deity. We are aligning with a specific cosmic frequency through the power of sound and number. By utilizing the deity's favorite number, you take the energetic signature directly into the ritual, making the invocation highly personal and potent. Spiritual discipline. Repeating the name with a strict count keeps the conscious mind focused, preventing it from drifting into doubt or external distractions while sitting at the altar. We're going to take a Christian deity or archetype, or you can refer to them as an ascended master. How about Mother Mary? You set the altar, clean the space, light a white or blue candle, which is Mary's traditional colors. Burn a sweet incense like frankincense or myrrh. Do your altar setup. And just like Imaja, you would use a different number. You're going to use the number 5. So I call upon the Divine Mother, the Queen of Angels, the sovereign womb of Mary Mother. Mary Mother full of grace, Mary Mother star of the sea, Mary Mother entire of the knots, Mary Mother Queen of Peace, Mary Mother divine incubator of the Holy Seed. Holy Mother, I invite your gentle, unyielding presence to sit at this altar today. Wrap your blue mantle around my mind to quiet all fear, anxiety, and reactive drifting. Help me incubate my wealth, my books, and my business empire with the same immaculate precision you use to bring forth the light. In the name of infinite source, it is executed. It is done. So this is the technology of invocation. It remains the same regardless of the cultural mask. Whether you are calling on Yimiyah or Mary Mother, you are using your voice, a focused intention, a specific altar setup, and the structural science of numbers to pull a higher cosmic frequency down into the physical realm. Oshun was the third deity. Ogun was second. Oshun was third. Oshun loves mirrors. So this is where you get into the moon, mirror magic, the moon tarot card. I would have mirrors set up all over my Oshun altar. I would do my makeup at the altar. I would keep my toys at the altar, lay lingerie at the altar, high heels at the altar. Before I do a show, get ready in front of my Oshun altar. So mirror magic. Oshun loves beauty and reflection, placing a small, clean brass or handheld mirror on the altar. My mirrors were not handheld. They're quite large, actually. Yeah. And I have plants all over the altar. She likes sunflowers. I put sunflowers on the altar. She loved honey and oranges, so I would put the oranges and honey on the altar. I would sprinkle the oranges with cinnamon, and I would make sure to taste it before she partook in it. Her favorite number is 5. I call upon the golden, and she loves gold, so I would really put gold and stuff on the altar. I call upon the golden mother, the queen of the sweet waters, the ruler of luxury and love, Oshun, Oshun, lady of the sweet rivers, Oshun, she who claddeth herself in gold, Oshun, mother of sweet abundance and flow, Oshun, queen of sensuality and joy, Oshun, ultimate mirror of divine beauty. Sweet mother, I invite your radiant, magnetic presence to pull up a seat at this altar today. Wash away any dry, brittle, or scarce thinking left behind by the matrix. Flood my consciousness with your golden current so that wealth, luxury, and high-level business opportunities are naturally magnetized to my empire. Teach me to create from a place of joy, pleasure, and absolute sovereignty. By the power of the cosmic waters and my sacred spoken word, it is executed, it is done. Let's do one for Athena. Athena is not a goddess of soft passive wishing. She is fierce, unyielding goddess of strategic warfare, wisdom, civilization, and mathematical architecture. She represents the sharp, clinical left pillar on the Temple of Solomon, the left pillar before entry into the temple. Intelligence required to look at a chaotic landscape, map out a bulletproof plan, and execute total victory. She's the ultimate patron of the consultant, author, and independent operator who rules their business like a general rules a chessboard. As a beginner, this is how you can utilize Athena's. Okay, I call upon the unconquered queen of the Citadel and the master of the chessboard, the architect of wisdom and war, Athena. Athena, goddess of the sharp mind and strategy. Athena, she who steps forward fully armed. Athena, piercing eye of critical thinking. Athena, master weaver of complex systems. Athena, unyielding protector of the sovereign state. Athena, divine counselor to kings and generals. Athena, pure light of intellectual courage. Mother of strategy, I invite your sharp crystalline presence to sit at this altar today, clear my mind of emotional reaction, matrix programming, and short-sighted thinking. Grant me the wisdom of the owl to spot structural leaks and hidden opportunities in the dark. Arm my intellect with the precision needed to build independent infrastructures, organize my data ledgers, and outwit every adversarial force in the marketplace. By the absolute authority of cosmic law and my sacred spoken word, it is executed, it is done. So no matter the cultural mask, African, Christian, Greco-Roman, the spiritual science remains identical. Yimia, the deep subconscious ocean incubator. Mary Mother, the peaceful, immaculate, protective incubator. Oshun, the magnetic golden river of luxurious attraction. Athena, the sharp armored fortress of strategic warfare and systemic victory. Your altar, simply to remember, is the antenna. Smoke rises to the heavens. The favorite number is the geometric lock. The delicious names are the frequency dial, and your spoken word, you're using your throat chakra, is the execution command. Throat chakra, which means you're going to need a blue stone. We talked about chakras last week. All right, let's dig into spell 11 before we close out this session. And I get to go doing some work for tomorrow that we have discussed today. Put money behind you. Ooh, wow, it's gonna be delicious. Ooh, yay. All right. Oh, before I forget, I listed magical books that I have in my collection. I couldn't remember the name of this one, but I brought it in. Excellent, excellent, excellent writing. Okay. All right. Notes on this spell. It was brought to my attention by upper realms that I was in an inappropriate relationship with money, meaning that the space money held in my consciousness was not benefiting me, and this is what I did to change it. In case you're wondering, I've been busy. What book I'm reading out of. There you go. All right. Decide to seek the kingdom of heaven. Seek first the kingdom of heaven. Meditate for 20 minutes in your sacred space or in nature or in any space where you feel safe. Step 3. Say a prayer of love asking for revelation. Step 4. Think quietly of your money situation and your financial affairs. Energetically, where are your money matters? In front of you, for most people, money is energetically in front of us, which it was for me. Be still and hyper aware of where money is energetically located for you. Step 5. Now simply place all your money matters behind you energetically. This does not mean you will ignore financial affairs, nor does it mean not give attention to money matters. It simply means that money is no longer in front of you. It is now behind you, with you powerfully leading the way. Step 6. Be acutely aware of the energetic shift and how it plays out in your life and financial affairs. Record helpful notes in your wealth grimoire. We talked about wealth grimoires on day 1. All right, this has been absolutely delicious. Let me see. That's good. I'm gonna, on this note, uh, separate but equal. They did not worry. Well, the lady did in there, but the lady that was working with Thurgood Marshall, and she kept trying to come into the room and saying they're gonna cut the lights off. And he said, "Lady, go get some sandwiches." He didn't say with what money, how she was gonna get the sandwiches, but she went to go get the sandwiches. And then she said, "I'm changing history." The lady who said, "I can't stay, I ain't been paid for 2 weeks, I got a date," and we had already said the reason she had that date. Guess what? All of that happened. All that worrying happened. And they still went to court and won. All that worrying about bills. And they still went to court. And they still did what they had to do. They still got to where they needed to get to. And Thurgood was not worried in that movie about money. Somebody was going to find some money for the celebration to kick off and for him to have a drink. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Put money behind you. All right. That concludes our session for today, loves. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your full joy, the rest of your Monday. And I will see you. Oh, we ought to be preparing for July. The sky is full of fireworks before we get there. And so I will bring that into our session tomorrow, which I'm so looking forward to. All right, my loves. Mwah. Have a beautiful rest of your day. See you on Tuesday, 10:15.